morning, everyone. My name is Michael Ramirez, and I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of social media today. So before we get started, how many of you guys, by show of hands, have some type of social media? See, it's pretty much everyone in the room. According to Statiza.com, 81% of people, everyday people, have some platform of social media. So that's well over 50%. That's well over half. Just going based off of that, you can see the impact that social media might have on our lives, whether it is good or bad. So what I'm going to be talking about today is the cons of social media, the pros of social media, and how it's beneficial to our lives as students, as young people. So starting off, according to socialnetworking.org, social media enables and spreads false info a lot. So whether you're on Twitter, whether you're on Instagram, the little snap stories that you guys see, there's a lot of information that gets thrown out there just based off what people hear just for like off the top of their head. They'll believe almost anything they see online if it's trending, if a lot of people are talking about it. And a lot of times, especially with politics and different things that happen in the world, sometimes it's not all true. So we have to keep that in mind when we read things, that you might want to get a little more info on where it's coming from, the sources that you're getting it from. Next, from the same website, socialnetworking.org, it says you can never delete it. So once it's on social media, even if you think you've deleted it, someone most likely can find it. A reason why this is a big con for a lot of students and young people is when people are trying to find jobs and your boss or future boss looks you up, a lot of things can pop up. So if you're posting pictures of you doing things that you shouldn't be doing or that you wouldn't want, let's say your grandma or someone that you're kind of embarrassed to see, and your employer sees that, that could affect whether you get the job or not. So those are two of the main cons that I read about that have a big influence on our lives right now. Leading into that, I'm going to get into the pros of social media. A big pro of social media is worldwide networking. So let's say you have a friend that you grew up with, and then you go to a college all the way across the world. You're going to get disconnected with them at some point, but the great thing about social media is that you can look them up on Facebook. You just type in their name, type in maybe the high school that you went to or something that relates you to that person, and most likely you'll be able to find them, or someone that you know that knows them, and then you'll be able to connect with them. It gives you a chance to meet up with family, meet up with friends, just kind of letting everyone know you can check into places where you are. It kind of gives you that opportunity to connect with people, no matter if they're in the same city, they're in the same room, or across the world. It gives you the opportunity to be able to connect with them at any place that you are. It empowers individuals to take the next step in starting a process of something. So you guys see a lot of things that hashtag on Twitter, hashtag on Facebook that are trending to try to get different purposes spread throughout the world. For a big example is the Black Lives Matter movement. That movement started online. It started people kind of promoting different things to help the Black Lives movement, and so many people have been able to be a part of it just through social media. Whether they post a picture, whether they share their thoughts on it through social media, it gives them a chance to empower themselves, to empower their cause through their social media platform. Next is how it's beneficial to us. So there's a lot of controversy about if social media is something that's going to be beneficial to our lives, but the reality of it is that it's going to be in our lives for a long time. It's only growing from here on out, and one big thing that I read on Forbes.com was that it increases teen awareness. One big thing that social media hasn't impacted is bullying, cyberbullying to be exact, that people can hide behind a screen and talk about different people and put people down. It kind of spreads that awareness to use social media in a good way rather than a bad way. Be able to not talk bad about people, not hide behind a screen, because there is a lot of cases where cyberbullying does have an effect on people's lives. It has a big effect normally on the younger generation rather than the older generation, but it does increase teen awareness, not only about that, but it can cause teen awareness about anything, about STDs, about safe sex, about school, about literally anything you can type into the internet, they will have something about it on social media that you guys can read about. It is also a new way of learning. How many of you guys actually use dictionaries now? Raise your hand. See, exactly. If you don't know what a word means, you can just type it into your phone and you can get the definition, the synonym, antonym, anything that relates to that word. It gives you so many new ways of learning, new ways to look up information. You can find almost anything on the internet from it. So that's a big beneficial way that us students can use social media for. And then just kind of wrapping everything up, I kind of talked about the two main cons that I found about social media, as well as the two main pros, and how it's beneficial to us. So what I ask that you guys do next is, when you're using your social media platforms, to kind of keep in mind the things that I've talked about today, or things that you've heard or read about online, and use your social media in a safe, productive way, rather than a way that could be harmful to others. So thank you guys.